Hey, welcome to Digging into the Bible. My name is Jim Barnard. This is a production of Tiller Coaching. All right, it's day 7. Thank you for joining me. We are a week in. How about that? We're cruising right along. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I've got 39 days planned of this study as we dig in together into the book of Romans. And so that's really great. We're doing well so far. But as I said the other day, I want to give this easy, attainable way in 5-ish minutes for people to get some scripture and one or two thoughts about that set of scripture. And I just think that that's really good. And if I can make it easy for people, man, I want to do that. But my hope is that people want to dig in a little bit more, a little bit further. And, sometimes that's a little bit harder than others. Sometimes it's easier. But, one of the easiest ways to do that is to go and look at the footnotes to see what verse references or where scripture might be cited from. And to try to understand that context is really great. And so today is one of those easy opportunities. There's a mashup. There's like a song that it's not really a song, but it's pulling from Old Testament. Paul is pulling 7 different scriptures into this mashup. That's why I'm calling it a song. I don't know that it has a necessary flow to it, but it's really great. It's pulling these 7 sets of scriptures in, and it's all proving a point. And so I'm going to focus on 2 of the scriptures and where it comes from, but there's 5 more. If you want to dig in further, please do so. So you will see, if you're watching on YouTube, the verse references behind each part. So just trying to make it easy for you. With that as the background, let's go ahead and dig in. This is Romans chapter 3, starting at verse 9. What then? Are we Jews any better off? No, not at all. For we have already charged that all, both Jews and Greeks, are under sin, as it is written. None is righteous, no, not one. Not one understands, no one seeks for God. All have turned aside, together they have become worthless. No one does good, not even one. Their throat is an open grave, they use their tongues to deceive. The venom of asps is under their lips. Their mouth is full of curses and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood, and their paths are ruin and misery. And the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now we know that whatever the law says, it speaks to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be stopped, and the whole world may be held accountable to God. For by works of the law, no human being will be justified in his sight, since through the law comes knowledge of sin. All right, so like I already said, Paul is using this mashup method to really call back to the Old Testament to say that this has been a theme the whole time, guys. This should not be a new revelation that we cannot truly live in a righteous way, that we are not good enough. We just can't earn our own salvation. Just doing the good works, it's just not possible. And so he's calling this back and pulling from all these different parts of the Old Testament. Like I said, I want to focus on 2. And this is right off the bat. As I was looking back at the Old Testament to try to understand where he was calling back from, I found out that the first 2 parts of that mashup was Psalm 14 and Psalm 53. And I had no concept. Those 2 psalms are almost identical. There's like very, very small differences. What's up with that? That's so weird. Why would there be 2 chapters that are almost identical? What is that about? Well, both are by David, and David is writing a song, and I think in Psalm 14 he wrote something really beautiful, and then I think it became an earworm in his head, and he just keeps churning about that, and then he either wants to do a sample remix. Artists sample or remix songs all the time, so he's either doing that or he's writing a second verse, and I don't know which it is, but David writes a second part here, and whether it's the remix or not, I don't know, but it's really interesting. So the only difference between these 2 is in chapter 14, the focus is about God's deliverance of the righteous. So totally a theme that we've been talking about here. And then in chapter 53, it's God's defeat of the wicked. And this is what we're talking about. Like, we are not good enough to be righteous, to be delivered and saved. Like, it's just not possible. And I just think Paul is working up to what we're going to see tomorrow. It's his great thesis of this, at least first part of this book. That well, I guess I was going to give it away, but I guess you have to watch or listen tomorrow. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you tomorrow as we continue on with Romans chapter 3. I'll see you then.